Get free tech advice for your business from O2 Gurus. Search O2 Business for more.
Hey guys, welcome to BTech. It's Basil here, and to the right hand side we have Assassin's Creed Unity running on our Xperia Z3 tablet compact. To the left hand side we have Nvidia Grid, giving us access to a shed load of PC grade games on our tablet. How are we doing this? Well, it's something called remote gaming, and it's really taking off thanks to these two devices, and specifically Sony and Nvidia. We're going to talk a little bit more about it in this video. First, I'm going to give you a little bit of a sorry I've been away for about a week. I've been getting on with back-end stuff with BTech. Hopefully Jordan's been keeping you updated with BTech daily. But enough of that, now on to gaming, and specifically these two devices. What's cool about both is they support their own controller input. You can see we have the Nvidia Shield controller here. This is great because it's really comfortable, ergonomic, reminiscent of an Xbox controller, but it is also supporting Android fully with volume controls, home button, back button and start button. Also has a 3.5mm jack, so it can send the audio from your Shield tablet directly to this controller, thanks to the fact it pairs using Wi-Fi. Now, the DualShock 4 controller on the Sony Xperia Z3 Compact or PlayStation 4 Z3 Tablet Compact pairs using Bluetooth, so no audio support, despite the fact you do indeed have a 3.5mm jack at the base. You do have two joysticks as with the Nvidia controller, a D-pad, and on the right hand side for classic PlayStation controls, as well as a trackpad. The trackpad on the Shield actually controls a cursor on the Grid tablet. On the Shield tablet, sorry, but the trackpad on here just supports in-game trackpad use. Also have the standard array of buttons on the back, and it pairs for other games as well. Both of these controllers pair for things like Modern Combat, Soul Calibur, and do so beautifully with button mapping being pre-configured very well for the most part. Now that we've rambled on about that, we can talk about the actual quality of the experience, and we can start off with the PlayStation 4 remote play experience. And you can see we have Assassin's Creed here. We have a pretty decent internet connection, it's worth saying, but it's definitely worth mentioning that experience still wasn't perfect for us. We need to have, or you'll need to have, your PlayStation 4 paired to a very, very zippy connection. If your Wi-Fi box isn't fast enough, you'll need to get a faster router. If your network box is fast enough, then you will want to also make sure that you have an incredibly good connection on your Xperia Z3 Tablet Compact side. We have 100 meg, we did a speed test on it. It's about 50 meg down, 5 meg up, and this is a kind of quality that you can expect. As you can see, we have a couple of devices connected to the network, so a few things using the bandwidth, but still a fair to decent experience. It's very, very hit and miss. Sometimes we had a brilliant experience. Well, we're having a pretty good run of it now, and we could play for easily half an hour or so. What makes the Sony Xperia Z3 Tablet Compact the only really usable device for this, whatever game we played things like The Evil Within for ages, Tomb Raider, and indeed Assassin's Creed Unity. The reason is you can see, you can read all of the text on here. The 8-inch screen is pretty ample. You can also very, very clearly, if we jump into that map, see you can read all the elements within the map. So it's a great bright display. The 16:9 full HD aspect ratio is brilliant. And if you have a faster internet connection than us, you can actually increase the quality of the viewing experience as well. Naturally, the DualShock makes it perfect, but if you want to use on-screen buttons, you can do as well. So not usable out and about, but a perfect representation if you're in a local network setting with good connectivity of what your PlayStation 4 would be like using your Xperia Z3 Tablet Compact. And you can see loads and loads of games on here. Like we said, we kind of wanted to play The Evil Within and show you that, but it was all a little bit too bloody, a little bit too gory. We did play it with a tablet with the lights off while we were kind of like in bed, and it was actually pretty freaky. So we were really impressed that the stereo front-facing speakers was able to emulate that experience. Now we can move on to the Nvidia Grid experience, and like we said, you've got a couple of ways you can get your remote game on with the Nvidia Shield Tablet. The first is Game Stream if you have an Nvidia graphics card PC that supports the service. The second, and our favorite, is Nvidia Grid. We're not massive PC gamers like the PlayStation suggests, we're more console gamers. If you have Nvidia Grid service in your country supported, which is currently the US, it'll be Europe from December the 2nd. Then you'll be able to enjoy relatively latency-free gaming. What's also great is the fact the mini HDMI on here means you can hook it up to a big screen, have it wirelessly connected to your gamepad and play very comfortably. You can see it's connected to our Wi-Fi, it's powering up. What's also nice about the service is that it supports play over LTE, though that is not recommended. So it's not supported in our country, it's just telling us that, but we will continue anyway. So you'll have to excuse any latency. This isn't the final Nvidia service, but it'll give you a taste of what is to come in the UK over the next couple of weeks. So the game's getting ready now, and that's Street Fighter X Tekken. Fighting games are always a pretty representative way of testing out latency, and you can see it didn't take all that long to load. Front-facing stereo speakers again. Again, what's really nice about the Shield is we can control things like the volume from the Shield controller. Press the start button. It's looking pretty smooth. Hopefully that'll translate through to gameplay as well. Audio's coming through nice and smoothly. We're only at 2 bars out of 4 as far as speed goes, according to the icon on the right hand side. And yeah, you can see not perfect, but it's reading our special moves pretty nicely. Fair bit of latency. There's quite a bit of artifacting going on the screen, and what Nvidia tries and does is it'll increase artifacting in order to ensure you have the smoothest gameplay experience. And like we said, this is a fighting game, but we're still able to play it relatively well. Can fire through, maybe get a special move in there. Nope, fail there. So yeah, you can see it's playable. It's not a brilliant experience, but like we said, the servers aren't available for the UK until December the 2nd. So when you consider what's actually going on here, we're actually inputting controls on here. These are uploading to Nvidia's servers, being sent over to America into the machine that's actually powering the Street Fighter game along. Then what's happening is that is being sent back to us in the form of visuals. So a lot of back and forth is taking place, which is why both of these services rely on really decent internet connections. But hopefully that's given you an insight into how PS4 Remote Play compares with Nvidia's Grid and Game Stream services. We'd have loved to test Game Stream out. If you have any experience with it yourself, fire them in the comments section below. We've been using PS4 Remote Play a little bit more just because we have a PS4. As soon as Grid launches in the UK though, we can anticipate getting really involved in things like Darksiders 2, games that we've never actually made it around to getting but really wanted. What we have also done is test out Android games on here, plug that into a TV, and the gaming experience is stupendous. Really would recommend, if you want a gaming device you can plug into a TV and a media hub that ultimately you don't actually need to touch all that much, the Nvidia Shield Tablet is a beautiful solution. As far as the Sony Xperia Z3 tablet goes, you can check out our live review on BTech a little bit later. This is a waterproof, super skinny tablet with incredibly versatile gaming chops, and the best tablet on the scene for Modern Combat 5, thanks to great support from the Sony DualShock 4 controller. Actually better, interestingly, than the Nvidia Grid support for that game specifically. So that's been quite a long-winded way of saying both of these devices do probably the best job on the market as far as Android tablets go of gaming. If you have any questions about either, fire them in the comments section below. If you like BTech in general, make sure you click that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.